What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So wow, what a statement that was. Another statement. I will, first and foremost, before I even get into the fight, I gotta ask you guys a question. What Berinchyk was doing in the fight, do y'all consider that running? I'm just asking for, for a friend. Because sometimes when some fighters do that, when certain fighters do movement like how he was doing, people consider that running. So I'm just asking, do y'all consider that running, or was it effective movement? But anyways, man, shout out to Keyshawn Davis, bro. What a hell of a performance, man. Dude, from the beginning of the round, I know Keyshawn was talking about going to knock him out, Berinchyk, out in one round, but I could tell from the way Berinchyk was fighting, Keyshawn wasn't going to knock him out in the first round because of the movement that Berinchyk was doing. And I was also kind of worried because a lot of times when fighters come off of a spectacular performance like how Keyshawn did, actually it was on my birthday when he fought Lemos. It was such a great performance. I was thinking, like, damn, I hope it's not a situation where he comes off of a spectacular performance and then, puts up a dud or something. I was just kind of nervous, wondering about that. But Keyshawn looked amazing. I mean, wonderful. Berinchyk came out, and I said Berinchyk. Berinchyk. I was thinking of Belichick. But anyways, Berinchyk or whatnot came out, very awkward. He had a lot of movement. He had a lot of bouncing going on. And, you could tell Keyshawn was just trying to time him. And when you have guys that move like that, that's awkward like that, you don't want to throw. You want to kind of just get their movement down. And that's what Keyshawn was doing at first. So he wasn't really throwing anything at first. And I can understand why. He was trying to more so get the pace and the rhythm going on to cut off the ring, all that type of stuff. Then he would throw a jab or whatnot. Now, Berinchyk was doing a lot of slapping with his punches. It was just very ineffective. Like it wasn't working for him at all. He was punching at awkward angles, but he was slapping. It wasn't like he wasn't turning anything over, which is probably why. That's why he only had 9 knockouts. But Keyshawn stayed relaxed, stayed poised or whatnot. And I felt like Keyshawn, I wanted him to like double up the jab or whatnot. But I can still understand why. When you have a guy like Berinchyk who's very awkward and bouncing, you just kind of want to see what they have to offer, what they're going to do, how they're going to react, and that's the whole purpose of the first round, to see like, okay, get their timing down, get a feel of their power, see what their reflexes. How often do they react? You have some fighters that's going to overreact, and you want to get all that, dissect all that, all that down or whatnot. And so I noticed, one of the things that I noticed, that Berinchyk was like, he was pivoting whenever he would was turning corners. He would pivot off the corners, and I was thinking, okay, well, maybe Keyshawn will throw the looping right hand, because it seems like he can run him into that. But then in the second round, like obviously all the just the kind of the wild, the not so pretty tactics that Berinchyk was doing. I was noticing that dude is just very vulnerable on the inside. Like, he has no inside game. You could tell that his inside game is not there. He's not in position when he's on the inside. He doesn't when I say not in position, I mean like he doesn't position himself well. He's like, in order to defend himself or even catch and shoot. When you're on the inside, you want to make sure that that's where you want to be more flat-footed at once you're on the inside, because you want to make sure you're for one, your positioning as well, so you can't get thrown off, or you can't get moved or anything by any subtle punch or whatnot. But you also want to make sure you're able to catch and shoot. You want to be tucked or whatnot. And he was just very very loose and very just, all over the place on the inside. So that's when I was thinking like, okay, Keyshawn, like, should actually take advantage of him. Once he comes on the inside, I feel like, or once Keyshawn's able to close the distance, he should let his hands go, because I could already tell you he's not going to be able to defend himself well on the inside. And that's what Keyshawn was doing. I saw that towards like the end of the second round. Keyshawn started to open up more and unleash the combinations or whatnot on the inside. Now, the third round, I actually believe Keyshawn, it was either the second round or the third round, he dropped him with a body shot, with a hook to, hook to the body. Beautiful shot. I mean, Berinchyk was wide open for it, bro. Like that. I mean, seriously, when I tell you, like, this dude is just like his inside game. It's almost like they didn't prepare for him to be on the inside with Keyshawn, which is crazy to me. But Keyshawn landed a beautiful body hook, boom, dropped Berinchyk or whatnot. I don't know if that was, like I said, I believe that was the second round, but I don't know if it was either the second or third or whatnot. And then you know, in the fourth round, you know, once again, Berinchyk just you know, being awkward, and then, you know, leaving himself very vulnerable on the inside, trying to tie up with Keyshawn or whatnot. He was in a very, very, very bad position with that. The worst thing you want to do is when you're on the inside, you don't want to. He wasn't standing up straight. Don't get it twisted. Like, he wasn't standing up straight, but he wasn't. He didn't have any, like, his knees weren't big. Like, he was just in a bad position. That's the best way I could explain it. That's the worst thing you want to do when you're in the inside. You want to be low and tucked as possible, because the more straight up and down you are on the inside, the more leverage you give your opponent, and the more power you take away from yourself. You know, when you're standing up, when you're standing up more straight on the inside, you don't have power to get those hooks off. You know, your opponent can push you around or whatnot. And Keyshawn just doubled up on a hook, whop, and then boom, it was over. Berinchyk, caught him with a beautiful body shot, and Berinchyk dropped. Now, here's the thing. Berinchyk actually quit in this fight, though, because I'm gonna tell you something, man, that I've always known. And again, I'm a fighter myself. So it's not like I'm not just sitting on the outside. I've been in situations like this. But when you get hit to the body, yes, I will always say a body shot is much harder to recover from than a headshot. However, the reason why I know he quit, because he stood up as soon as the 10 count was there, right? As soon as the referee counted to 10, then he stood up and walked over to the corner. He didn't want no more of that. He didn't want no more of Keyshawn or whatnot. And I'm gonna tell you something. Now, a fighter that didn't quit when he got hit to the body and was really in excruciating pain was Oscar De La Hoya. Go watch his fight against Bernard Hopkins. That's a fighter that's in pain, that can't get up. You know, they don't just sit down there and then once the referee says 10 up, they stand up and walk off. That's a fighter that quit. Berinchyk quit. He's a quitter. And just like how Ryan Garcia did, he quit. You know, a lot of people, I don't care what nobody says, I've been in a situation like that. Again, I understand it, but once you stand, if you can stand up and as soon as the referee says 10 and walk off, bro, he quit. So Berinchyk quit. He knew he was overwhelmed. He was overmatched. He had nothing for Keyshawn at all. And Keyshawn looked wonderful, especially being in there with an awkward fighter. You know, this dude, Berinchyk, was a Olympic silver medalist, a world champion, and undefeated. He was an awkward fighter. And guess what? Keyshawn got him up out of there. I just really thought Keyshawn looked beautiful, man. Like, that performance was just beautiful, man. I am such a big Keyshawn Davis fan now. They asked him who he wanted to fight next. He said, "It's two champions that I really would love to fight." We all know who those two are, because the third one would be Shakur, and him and Shakur have a very close relationship. They came up together. Keyshawn wants to fight either Gervonta Davis or Lomachenko. I definitely feel like the Lomachenko is possible. Should Lomachenko continue to fight? I definitely feel like that fight is possible, because both of them are on top rank. I think that fight could happen this year if Lomachenko chooses to fight his career. We still don't know what Lomachenko is doing. I think that he needs to go ahead and issue out something, like, sooner or later. Like, come on, bro, let us know something, because if not, you're just holding on to that title. And it's a whole organization that, you know, deserves a shot at the title or whatnot. So we don't know what Lomachenko's doing. But as far as Gervonta Davis, stop saying that Keyshawn does not deserve a fight with Gervonta Davis. And when I say that, I'm talking about you YouTubers that love to defend every little thing that Gervonta Davis does. I'm talking about, like, stop saying that. All right? I love Tank. That's my favorite fighter. I've said that on millions of times. It's my favorite fighter at 135. But Tank Davis should be fighting Keyshawn Davis, bro. Davis versus Davis. The battle of the Davises, bro. Like, Keyshawn deserves a fight with Tank Davis. If anything, because he's a world champion. And once you become a world champion, it's free game. I don't care. I don't want to hear that, oh, who is his fault? He has a title and it is in your weight class. Stop saying that Keyshawn does not deserve a fight with Tank Davis. That is a fight that needs to happen. I want it to happen. And bro, Tank is the A side. He can make it happen, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What do you think about the fight? Who do you want to see Keyshawn Davis fight next? Do you want to see him against Tank or Lomachenko? Who do you think will win? But what do I know?